How does an AI actually know when it's hallucinating garbage instead of generating genius?
Welcome to Yurix AI. This is Lecture 26 of LLMs from Scratch, Zero to Builder. Today, we're mastering how to measure and minimize AI mistakes using loss functions. Here's our roadmap for this explainer. 1. Inputs and targets. 2. The LLM model outputs. 3. Cross-entropy loss in LLMs. 4. Coding the cross-entropy loss. And 5. Perplexity as a loss measure. We're going all the way from raw input to actual PyTorch code. Okay, Section 1, Inputs and Targets. Let's figure out exactly what data goes into our language model and what we expect to get back. First up, we need to define target values. You're going to hear this term a lot today. Targets are essentially the true, correct answers that our model is trying to predict during training. And they're actually super simple to create. They are just the input text tokens shifted forward by exactly one position. This brilliantly illustrates how a single input sequence packs in multiple prediction tasks. So check out this example. Our input is every effort moves. The target? Effort moves you. When the model reads the word every, its target is to predict effort. When it reads every effort, the target becomes moves. Your target tensor is literally just that input sequence shifted over by one single token. Moving on to Section 2, the LLM model outputs. What actually happens when our totally untrained GPT architecture tries to guess those targets? Well, before we get those nice, clean probabilities, the model spits out what we call logits. Logits are the raw, unnormalized output tensors straight from the GPT model. Imagine this massive grid that assigns a raw numerical score to every single one of the 50,257 possible tokens in our vocabulary. So let's look at what those untrained logits actually produce. Our desired target is effort moves you. But our untrained model, it's completely hallucinating, spitting out the phrase armed H Netflix. It's total random noise. Because of this, we absolutely need a mathematical way to measure exactly how wrong the model is. And that brings us to Section 3, Cross-Entropy loss in LLMs. This is the core mechanism where we take that gut feeling of a bad output and turn it into a strict quantitative metric. So the crucial point is that loss is a single number that says how wrong the model's next token guesses are, and training just drives it down.
If that just clicked, hit the like button.
To really wrap your head around cross-entropy, think of it like an everyday multiple choice test. But instead of just picking A, B, C, or D, the model is facing a test with 50,257 options. It has to distribute its confidence percentage across every single one of those choices. If it puts high confidence on the actual correct answer, the penalty is tiny. But if it puts high confidence on the absolutely wrong answer, like boldly guessing Netflix instead of you, the penalty, which is our loss, is massive. Does framing loss as how surprised the model was make it clearer? Pause the explainer right now and drop your answer in the comments. All right, Section 4, Coding the Cross-Entropy loss. This is where it gets really interesting, because we're taking that complex multiple-choice math and turning it into actual Python code. Now, because we process our data in batches to keep things running fast, we first have to flatten our multidimensional tensors so they line up perfectly for the loss calculation. Step 1, flatten the logits tensor. Step 2, flatten the targets tensor. And step 3, apply PyTorch's cross-entropy function. Let's look at how the shapes change here. We reshape our 2-batch by 3 token matrices into a flat list. Our logits transform from a 3D block into a flat grid of 6 rows by 50,257 columns, basically 6 individual prediction tasks. And our targets tensor perfectly matches this, flattening down to just 6 individual true values. Python is just amazing because this single, powerful line of PyTorch code does the whole shebang. It automatically applies the softmax probabilities, calculates the negative log likelihood, and returns our final loss number. All of that heavy math is handled right there. Finally, Section 5, Perplexity as a loss measure. Let's wrap up our toolkit by looking at a slightly modified, much more human-readable version of cross-entropy. I wanted to find a term called perplexity. It's calculated by taking the exponent of the loss, so e to the power of the loss. Perplexity is a highly interpretable metric that translates that abstract cross-entropy number into a physical representation of how uncertain the model actually is. Remember our completely untrained model from earlier? It yielded a massive perplexity of 48,725.
what does that actually mean in the real world? It literally means the model is just guessing randomly among roughly 48,000 different words in the vocabulary. It has absolutely no clue what the next word should be.
You can see why this is such a game changer for builders. It's an incredibly intuitive way to watch your model improve. You start at high perplexity, complete confusion and random guessing, and as training progresses, you drive it down to a low perplexity, near 2 or 3, where the model is achieving pinpoint accuracy between just a handful of likely words.
Okay, to quickly recap, we've gone from taking inputs and mapping out targets to getting the raw model outputs as logits, and finally mathematically scoring those outputs using cross-entropy and perplexity.
Now that we can measure the exact mistakes, how do we force the AI to fix them automatically? That is what we'll tackle next time. Until then, like, share, subscribe to Yurix AI for a new lecture every day, hit the bell,